Well, good morning from Da Nang. Thought you'd like to join me on a walk along the beach. I'm actually on my way to the Vincom Plaza, which is a shopping mall. I want to see if I can get some sneakers, trainers, and so it's about a 50-minute walk, and there's various ways of getting there, but this is obviously the most scenic because I'm going to go along the beach and then cut across. So I'm going north right now. It's about 10:30 and another beautiful day. Not too hot, not too humid, very pleasant. Already there's a lot of people on the beach. Still haven't done that, still haven't spent a day on the beach, but it's not really my thing. I'm more into walking around and maybe hanging out by the pool. I'm sure I'll do a couple of hours at the beach at some point. They give you a lot of shade. They have these palm umbrella things. Maybe I'll actually go on the beach for a change. Just for a little bit. Because I'll be out in the full force of the sun, so I don't want to do that for too long. It really is a beautiful beach. The sand is so clean and perfect, and it's just lovely. Bit of surf today, and there are some surfers out there, but it doesn't look like the waves are particularly big. Somebody wearing Speedos, we could do without seeing that. There it is, the other direction going south. Beautiful. That's a beach bar paradise that I go to occasionally. It's a really nice place. You can get 3 beers for the price of 2. Always nice to get a free beer. I met a bunch of really nice Canadians there a few days ago, and I've since seen them there again. Just in passing, I was passing by and there they were again. So it's obviously a popular place with the Canadians. I also need to get myself a new pair of pajamas, or at least pajama bottoms, because I've got holes in the one that I have, so I need to get a new pair of pajama bottoms. Maybe I'll find that at the mall. And with the sneakers, you know, it's possible to get really cheap knockoff sneakers that are pretty decent quality. You see them absolutely everywhere, especially at the markets. But I always sort of feel like getting cheap sneakers is a false economy, because they fall apart, don't last very well. So I'm perfectly happy paying normal Western prices for a good pair of Adidas sneakers. I think there's an actual Adidas store where I'm heading, so hopefully they've got a decent selection. The other challenge here, of course, is that the Vietnamese people as a population are kind of small and don't have big feet, so I think sometimes it's hard to find size 12, which is what I need, US size 12. But at the same time, they are catering to Westerners here to a large extent, so they probably do have them in stock. We'll soon find out. I'm going to head back towards the promenade for some shade. Just thought you'd see a bit of the beach. Yeah, it's not ridiculously hot, but I think if you're out in it for extended periods, you're going to catch the sun. No question about it. And it's always so interesting to see the locals here, who are usually completely covered up. They're not usually wearing shorts, they're certainly not wearing t-shirts, and usually they're not even in the sun at all. You just don't see that many during the day like now. It's usually early in the morning and later on in the evening when the sun's gone in. They tend to be very respectful of the damage that the sun can do, which is very, very smart. It's where I used to live, down there. About 2 or 3 minutes walk away. So I think the thing with these sunbeds is you just go and sit down, and they bring you a towel, and they can bring you drinks, and it costs maybe $2 for the day to sit in the shade under an umbrella on a nice comfy sun lounger. So if you want to spend a day at the beach, it's very easy to do. See, it's really shaded over there. They've got a major umbrella system going where it's completely in the shade. Then you also get people who are just out on a towel in the sun, catching the rays, possibly regretting it the next day. I have memories of getting sunburnt in Polzeath, Cornwall as a child. Out all day playing by the rock pools out on the beach. Got really, really badly burned, I remember one time. I caught the sun a little bit in Bali one day, out on the motorbike, but nothing too serious, just a little bit of redness. My nose was peeling a little bit towards the end. My big Adam's nose, which is of course closer to the sun than most people's noses. See the Lady Buddha off over there? A little bit hazy, but you can definitely see her. Yeah, so it's interesting. Look, there's no fence here, no gate, and quite a drop down to the beach. Yeah. Health and safety, they basically depend on your common sense, and the Vietnamese, it would seem to me, have a surplus of common sense. It's probably idiot tourists who've had too much to drink that have accidents and fall off the promenade onto the beach. I read a really interesting article the other day about the Vietnamese and about how patriotic they are, but not patriotic in the sense of blindly loving the flag or loving the history of the country. It's about loving and cooperating with the fellow Vietnamese. They kind of coexist in a very harmonious way compared to a lot of places, certainly compared to the United States. I think it's because I don't know, like you see it with the traffic, with the sort of like lack of any real structure to the road rules, and how you have this mass of traffic with bikes and cars all converging at intersections, and everybody sort of knows what to do, and there's no hint of road rage, there's no hint of aggressive driving amongst the locals. They all take it carefully, and they're all very respectful, and they all somehow know how to slow down and let the other pass. It's very much like a school of fish swimming around and not bumping into each other. It's just like that. It's incredible, really. I'm not saying they don't have accidents here, because I know they do, but I certainly haven't seen any. And I've actually been in the bigger cities than here, you know, Hanoi and Saigon, which are just insanely busy. And yeah, it's amazing how it all works. They do have traffic lights and they do have roundabouts, but in a lot of cases, a lot of these intersections, it's just deal with it, you know, work it out for yourselves, give way obviously to the traffic coming from the right, and slow down, and just everybody weaves through each other, and that's bikes, cars and pedestrians crossing the road. It's really amazing. There's no way it would work in England, I know that, or in America for that matter, but it works here. And that's kind of a, I don't know, they're proud people and they all know how to live together in harmony. A little bit of shade here. See, there's a lady all completely covered up, and you see that a lot. They're usually in kind of like designer, probably knockoff designer clothing, usually Yves Saint Laurent, but completely covered up. It must be a little bit hot under there, but they're completely protected from the sun. And they must think it's pretty funny when they see all the Westerners, all the tourists walking around without their shirt on like this dude. You get the sense that they do not sunbathe at all. They stay out of the sun as much as possible. Probably have a relatively low instances of skin cancer, I bet. Alright, so we're coming up to Da Nang Beach now. And there's a bloody big sign in case you're in any doubt as to where you are. I kind of like these signs actually. They're great for photo opportunities. I mean, that's what they're there for. You can like sit in one of the letters or just pose by the sign to remind yourself of where you were. So the further north that we're going towards Monkey Mountain and the fishing village, which is a good 45 minutes from here. But the further north you go, it's actually called, is it called Nha Trang? No, it's not called that, it's called, I forgot the name of it. But the further north you go, you're in this region where the rent is much less than where I'm staying. So it gets progressively less expensive the further north you go, because you're not in the really westernized areas with all the restaurants. However, there's still plenty of restaurants, and these places further north are becoming increasingly populated with good restaurants. So yeah, it's the whole place is just booming, and new places are being built all the time. And I'm sure that the An Tung district is not going to be the only place that people will gravitate to in the future. There'll be other areas of the city where people will go for fun and drinks and good food. And of course, the further north you're going, it's more local, so you get better quality Vietnamese food, local food, and probably a bit cheaper too. I mean, it's cheap enough as it is, but probably even cheaper the further north you go, because they're not catering to tourists or visitors, not really. Well, so much for walking in the shade. There is no shade right now, but that's okay. It's easier to walk on the promenade than on the sand. The sand's very soft. It's a nice little stretch of restaurants right here. A lot of seafood places. It's like they're yeah, they're cooking clams. Yeah. It's really good. Is it oysters?
Hello.
Hello, oysters
Yes, oyster and scallop.
and scallop.
Yeah.
Very nice. No, those look really good. Oysters and scallops. Yum, yum, yum. Another beach bar, Esco Beach. And you can just duck down to the beach through these little passageways. Another Vietnamese person all covered up. Here's the list of the coffees. So salt coffee, that's really good, the salt coffee. 60,000, so that's maybe like $1.50. These are really great, coconut coffees. I've had those a few times. I haven't had a peanut coffee yet. In fact, that's the first time I've seen it. The smoothies are amazing. Mango smoothies. Oh my goodness. I'm totally addicted to those. Here's all the live seafood. Some crabs in there. All kinds of shellfish. There's like abalones, small lobsters, king crab. I suppose if you're into animal rights, fish rights especially, seafood rights, you're not going to be too happy when you see all these tanks with the fish. They seem to have plenty of room to swim around. I don't know. Looks like mahi-mahi. Let's go and walk inside. It's a bit cooler. Have a closer look. These are called flower lobster. Regular lobsters. These are sea snails right here. These are called queen snails. These big ones. These are queen snails too. Those are king crabs. These are called seashells. They kind of look like lobsters, but I'm not quite sure. They're kind of like albino. They're kind of white colour. These are flounder, yellow flounder, Korean abalone. Prawns. What are these? Pomfrets. Hello. Oh, sorry. Getting in the way here. Sea crabs. Shrimp. Different sizes. Like more lobsters. These crabs are all wrapped up so they don't go for you with their claws. Yeah, so I think you just come around and you just point to what you want to eat and they'll cook it up for you in whichever way you like. Spicy with lemongrass, garlic, rice on the side, probably steamed or grilled, probably even deep fried. And these are all hotels along here, all hotels. But some of them are apartment hotels, so you can stay long term in maybe a larger room, maybe even a 2-bedroom suite, and you get to use all of the hotel's facilities, whatever they might be. It might be a pool. You probably get cleaning every week. Mind you, I get cleaning where I am now. I had my room cleaned on Monday morning. They did a really good job. So I get that once a week. It's part of my rent. So this is still Da Nang Beach. I think we're coming up to another beach up here. So I think pretty soon I'm going to switch this off, and then I've got to hang a left towards the mall, which I don't think is too far from here now. Nice little park here. It's all spotlessly clean. Yeah, so I'm going to cross over and head inland towards the mall. At some point I'm going to have to get my Google Maps going, because I'm not entirely sure where I'm going. I just know I'm going roughly in the right direction. Yeah, the good thing about heading inland is that there's some shade.
tiền là sợ mà phải đi.
So all along here there's places to stay and you'll be paying quite a bit less in rent than where I'm staying now. And they're still catering to tourists, as you can see. They've got all the souvenirs and hats and t-shirts and stuff, but it's less touristy up here. Whenever you go out for a walk at any time of day, there's so much going on, there's so much to see, so much activity and life out on the streets. Alright guys, this has been a 30-minute video, so I'm going to stop now and find my way to the mall. So love to everybody, and I will talk to you all soon.